Hey yo, what's good? It's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today I'm gonna hit y'all with a review of the new Mozzy album entitled Untreated Trauma. Let's get to it. Alright, so Mozzy is a prolific West Coast artist coming out of Sacramento. He is one of the really consistent and slept on MCs to have emerged from the West Coast within the past decade. Mozzy has a work ethic that outrivals most. As a result, he probably has as many projects to his name as artists like Currency and Griselda. Recently, I've seen folks compare Mozzy to Nipsey. I suppose vocally they both have that distinct California cadence, but let me know in the comment section if y'all think this comparison is accurate. This new release, Untreated Trauma, is Mozzy's first solo project of 2021. It follows his collaborative community service album with YG that had dropped in the spring, and that was a body of work that I feel had potential, but it kind of came and went. This particular album title, Untreated Trauma, is a thought-provoking one, and it definitely relates to the pain-driven subject matter in a lot of Mozzy's music. Not to get all Charlemagne the God on us, but trauma is a very real thing that should never go untreated, but unfortunately it does. This project is a pretty quick listen at 10 tracks, just lasting shy of the 30-minute mark. From the looks of the production credits, it seems that Mozzy has continued to keep things in-house, as there aren't any big name producers or those outside the scope of most Mozzy projects. In terms of the features, he's enlisted Mozzy, Selly Root, ESTG, Babyface Ray, Kalan FRFR, and YFN Lucci. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just jump right into a track by track breakdown. The opener, Straight to Fourth, is a sentimental hood anthem that's built upon a faint soul sample with gentle keys. It's easily the best instrumental on the project, and I go as far as saying it's the most standout track. This is Mozzy doing what he does best, which is giving you heartfelt and introspective lyricism while showing love for his hood, as he solemnly states, "If I die before I wake, take me straight to the fourth." It's definitely a song that will have the most replay value for me from the album. Track 2 is Beat the Case. This is an eerie street record featuring Kentucky chap artist ESTG and Detroit's Babyface Ray. I like the dark string loop. Overall, the beat is pretty dope, although I feel it could have benefited from some fine tuning. Here, Mozzy and his guests give us some pretty standard gangland talk. Mozzy mentions not selling his chopper because it has sentimental value. That's some real goon shit. I like this one for the most part, but I found the vocals to be mixed a bit poorly, especially on Babyface Ray's portion. Track 3 is Tycoon. This has a signature Bay Area style beat with funky synths and that trunk rattling bass. Now, given the type of instrumental and the name of the song, I think an E40 feature would have made sense. Mozzy declares that he is the dopest out his jurisdiction next to Scheme. Now, I would assume he's referring to Scheme, the rapper from Inglewood, California, as they have collaborated before, but I could be wrong. As a whole, this one was cool, but it didn't really leave too much of an impression, in all honesty. Right after is My Life Different. Here we get a standard Mozzy instrumental that's slower tempo and piano based. Mozzy chillingly states, "Put that dude's portrait on a crew neck, new merch, die and go to jail behind our politics and truth hurt. We know you a rodent, seen that documented schoolwork." Mozzy is known for his unique vocabulary. Like, instead of him saying the terms rat and paperwork, he uses rodents and documented schoolwork. It's nothing crazy, but the heavy slang ends up making a lot of the regular street terminology seem a little more memorable. Track 5 is Reeboks featuring Mozzy, and I'm somewhat on the fence about this one, as I feel it is a banger, but yet it didn't quite blow me away. Mozzy raps, "The streets is in me, it ain't on me, you can't scrub them off." And lines like this just reflect the authenticity that you find in Mozzy's music. Yeah, I feel that I should have liked this track more than I did, but it was cool. Next is the relationship or girl-friendly track, Whole 100. This is set to a bouncy and bright instrumental that gives off that wavy West Coast feel. Sonically, I found it to actually be one of the better beats, and I really didn't mind the auto-tune hook from Kalon FRFR. Sure, Rowdy Rich would have been more of an ideal feature, but Kalon FRFR did his thing. I can't say that relationship tracks are Mozzy's strong suit, but I did respect his desire to be a bit more versatile. As a whole, I ended up liking this song more than I thought I would. The following track, Slimy, is a much darker record that finds Mozzy addressing the disloyal, slimy, grimy, and snake-like individuals. All in all, it's a solid song that I didn't have any issues with. Track 8, Let You Know, featuring YFN Lucci, ends up feeling more like a YFN Lucci song featuring Mozzy, but I noticed this tends to happen on a lot of YFN Lucci collabs with other artists, so it wasn't necessarily Mozzy's fault. I do like the atmospheric trap and soul instrumental. This was another record that I ended up liking unexpectedly. Although I have to admit, I was a little shocked to see YFN Lucci's name attached given the gravity of his legal situation. Perhaps these vocals were recorded prior, or maybe he's out on bail. Either way, I haven't really kept up with that situation, but I just know that he hasn't been on a lot of features as of late. The second to last track is Step Brothers, featuring his entrusted comrades E. Mozzy and Celly Rue. This is backed by sinister Spanish guitar riff, punchy drums, and that signature West Coast bass. It's your typical gangland trenches banger. There's talk of head hunting and doubling back to make sure someone is stretched out. Mozzy raps 97 Buick LeSabre feel like a Maybach. As a whole, it's a pretty straightforward and aggressive street record. Then the album comes to a conclusion with the more reflective track, Again and Again. This has a trademark slower tempo Mozzy beat with the somber pianos and faint claps. It's an introspective song for the trenches. Mozzy expresses his love for his hometown again with lines like, Pebble Beach is like my rib, it's a part of me. All in all, it's a pretty heartfelt way to close out the album. Overall, I give this album a rating of 3 mics. I feel it's good, worth checking out, but I can't say that I found this to be on the level of his more recent bodies of work like Occupational Hazard or Beyond Bulletproof. Sure, it was pretty solid and there were no real misses, but it didn't exactly wow me either. Rather, this felt more like a mixtape or an appetizer to hopefully something more impressive. The lyrical content was definitely there as expected from a Mozzy album, and I could see hardcore Mozzy fans really loving this project. And while I consider myself as someone who does rock with Mozzy's music, at the end of the day, this project felt a little scant and undercooked. I would say that I view this project like I do many Currency releases, and that they are very consistent, but nothing too captivating. And look, I'm not someone who is advocating for Mozzy to go left field on us and make some abstract experimental project. I think it just boils down to his production sounding a bit repetitive. In my opinion, I don't think it would hurt if he got with some different producers, because I found the production on his recent albums to be a little monotonous. Still, regardless, Mozzy is one of the best contemporary West Coast artists. Hopefully this is prepping us for something even bigger later in the year. My favorite tracks include Straight to Fourth, My Life Different, Whole 100, Let You Know, and Again. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section below. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Mozzy, Untreated Trauma, 1.